Welcome to the Cal Grant Regional Training video. In this short training video, we are going to discuss the Cal Grant maintenance codes in more detail. The Student Aid Commission offers three types of Cal Grants. In this short training video, we are going to discuss Cal Grant payment and adjustment codes in more detail. SC, or school change. You will use the SC code to transfer a student who is actually at your campus to your roster. It is important to note that when a student is moved onto your roster using the SC code, this does not impact their ISER or Cal ISER data. So, if the student has not listed your school on their FAFSA or California DREAM Act application, they will also need to update their application so that the school will receive the ISER or Cal ISER data. If the student is eligible for payment, you could then follow up with a payment transaction. This code can also be used to satisfy the confirmation of school of attendance requirement. This code does not satisfy the renewal criteria. NA, or not in attendance. Not in attendance is to be used for a student who is not at your school and you have no indication that he or she will be there during the academic year. You will use this code if a student is not enrolled at your school. When you report the NA status, the student's record is moved to the Not in Attendance section of your roster, and you will not see it in the CSAC standard roster. This will also create a notification from the Commission to the student, letting the student know that the school we have on file has reported that they are not in attendance, and that if they are attending elsewhere, that they will need to report a school change. This code is a annual level code, meaning that once any other code is used, this code will become unavailable. This code does not satisfy renewal criteria. YA, or yes in attendance. YA is to be used for a student who was previously reported as not at your school and the NA code was reported for the previous term. When you report the YA code, the student's record will be moved from the Not in Attendance section of your roster to your Eligible section of your roster, and you will now see the student in the CSAC standard roster. This code does not satisfy the renewal criteria. LA, or leave of absence. When a student is newly awarded to Cal Grant, there must be a status reporting of some kind for the fall term. If the student is new to your school for winter or spring, you will need to report a leave of absence, or LA, for the fall term in order to report payments for the subsequent winter or spring terms. The student can have a LA reported if they want to save their award and not receive a payment for a particular term or terms. LA should not be reported if you know that the student is not maintaining satisfactory academic progress. In this case, a NP code should be reported. If the student has not completed the verification process, please report FI. Remember that LA is something to report for a otherwise eligible student. If a student's file is incomplete, we truly do not know if they are eligible. If the student does not have enough unmet need based on verification, submit a Grant Record Change Form, or G21, so the Commission may update the student's record and remove them from your roster. And for students that are not attending your school, please report NA for not in attendance. NA moves the student into your ineligible section of your roster. The student also receives notification stating that the school reported that the student is not in attendance and the student needs to update their school of attendance if attending. High school counselors, administrators, and financial aid administrators should contact the school support team or the IT service desk at the commission if they need further assistance. Students and their parents should contact student support if they need further assistance.